Forum for Autism is a parent support group to support families of children with autism. It was set up in the year 2002 under the Indian Trust Act 1950. Forum for Autism mainly aims at creating awareness about autism, empowering parents to advocate for rights of persons with autism. Forum for Autism is a parent body which runs two libraries in Kolaba and in Vashi with around 500 books. It also conducts parent training workshops, seminars, and talks. It has a database of parents and professionals and provides sponsorship to unaffording families. Forum for Autism participates in various activities. To name a few are Mumbai Marathon, conducted workshops for parents with young adults, celebration of World Disability Day at Malad Basti, and self-help skill workshop. Since the lockdown, Forum for Autism is continuing its work online. It has been conducting webinars on various topics like preparing to choose the boards, homeschooling, storytelling sessions, setting up presidential setup, to name a few. All the parents who are interested can check those webinars on YouTube. Chef Sanjeev Kapoor and commentator Harsha Bhogle are the cause ambassadors for Forum for Autism. Throughout the lockdown, FFA, that is Forum for Autism, along with ASK, that is Adult Support Kendra, is offering online individual counseling, family counseling, parent support, apart from various other services. To know more about these services, please contact Nicole Kapadia and Suhasini Sundaresan on the numbers mentioned. Join our journey. Be an active part of Forum for Autism. To know more, please call on the phone numbers on your screens. Thank you for your overwhelming response to our webinars. Forum for Autism requests you to donate generously so it helps in our future endeavors. All the donations are eligible for the tax exemption. Please follow us on social media for updates on workshops organized by Forum for Autism. Please follow our Facebook page, Forum for Autism. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out our website www.forumforautism.org.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. Today's topic is nutrition for our children, a very important topic. When we think as parents, we are always worried whether our children are getting the right kind of food or are we giving the right nutrients to our children. And today, to enlighten us on this very topic, we have Meghna Surlikar. Hi, Meghna. And she has completed her Masters in Nutrition and Diploma in Counseling from TISS after having 15 years of experience in the field of clinical nutrition. Her expertise are diabetes, weight management, lifestyle diseases, and cancer and childhood nutrition. She has worked with FFA projects of good practices prevailing in organizations that cater to individuals with autism. Today, she is going to tell us about food and nutrition as essential life skills, using the current diet and nutrition information to suit a child's need. Welcome, Meghna. Over to you.
Thank you, Bobby. On the onset, I would like to thank FFA for inviting me for this talk. So the topic which we speak today is nutrition for the child or diet and nutrition. Now, does both these sentences mean the same? Not exactly. The first sentence is considers my child whom I want to nourish. And the second sentence is has a little medical tone to it, and it is to treat something. Okay, and as we go through the presentation, it will get more clearer. Should I share my presentation now?
Please go ahead, Meghna.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So nutrition for the child or diet and autism, like I told you. So what we start with is we all as humans have a need for connecting. So connecting with our family, friends, connecting with people outside our family. And this need is shared by our kids too, whether they are on the spectrum or not. Food is also one of the most ancient and natural means of connecting in a human being's life. So, especially in an Indian setting, from a wedding to a birthday to a festival, we all gather, meet, and food does form an integral part. Now, how am I expressing myself through food? The first one is it can mean a coping mechanism also. Here, I would just like to tell you an anecdote. I had gone to observe a child or an adult who was on the spectrum, and he was in his communication class, and they were doing some activity. So it was a 45-minute class, and almost throughout the class, at an interval of maybe 2-3 minutes, he kept asking for tea. And so what they were doing in the activity was, as he did one activity, the level of difficulty of the activity went on increasing. At every step, he kept saying, "I want tea," and the teacher was very kind enough, and she understood, and she tried to tell him, "See, the tea is not yet ready, the bai has not yet come, it is not yet boiled, it's not yet 4 o'clock," and she brought him back to the activity which they were doing. So at that moment, this was a coping mechanism for him, because when he got anxious, he asked for the food or thing which he liked very much. That was tea. Also,
Sorry, Meghna, one moment, please. Sorry, there is some sound in your this thing. There's a little disturbance, I think, from your end. I think people are getting disturbed. And parents, could we request you to please post your question in the Q&A section so that we can be taking it at the end of the session. Thank you.
okay. Is that okay? That was my fish tank. Yeah. So
Perfect.
it can also mean control over something. So you have a choice to decide how much you take in, how much you want. It can also mean that I can have choices. I can decide whether I want to take this or not. It can mean that I can have likes and dislikes like any other person. And it can also mean that I can reject something if it is uncomfortable to me. And do I have a right to do this? Yes, uncomfortable in the sense of the way it feels in the mouth, the way it looks, the way it smells or tastes. So can I be suggested alternatives to suit my liking? Definitely. Now, would you feel good if you were involved in making something which was significant and which affects you? So definitely. So it kind of reflects your own individuality in a subtle way. So this is how your kids also would be expressing themselves through the food. Now, from where does, just a second. So from where does nutrition start? So for children, it will start with play, fun, exploration, and then end at nutrition. It's a byproduct for them, but a very, very important byproduct and one of our main aims. So when I look at my child, the thought process would be that my child is growing in height, weight, internally. Circulatory system, respiratory, nervous system, digestive system are all growing like just any other child, be it on the spectrum or not. He has those needs, nutritional needs of that amount of carbs, proteins, and all other micronutrients which any other child of his age requires to grow. And how would it start? It starts with observing or knowing your child. You will observe him or her and see where, in which circumstances he's eating well. Probably you take him out to a McDonald's or something, there's crowd, there's loud noise. He would eat the same burger there, but he would eat it at home. You think deeply from his point of view of why he is not eating certain foods. He's just like shutting his mouth. Is there something affecting him, hurting him? Also working very hard at alternatives which nourish him or her physically as well as mentally and emotionally. So you force a food down, it's not really going to have an effect. You have to do it in such a way that physically, yes, it affects him, he takes it in, but it mentally and emotionally also it is healing. So what, when I spoke to most of the parents, the main issues or the main topics which people would want to know were about picky eating, or better still, selective eating, and also food as a medium to improve life skills, bonding, and nutrition. The most common diet, gluten-free and casein-free diet, camel milk and autism, the latest in the market, and the latest research on autism and diet. So when we come to selective eating, I just want to share an incident. It happened just last week. My son brought a glass of milk very close to my mouth, and it was terrible. I just couldn't take the smell. And I told him, I can't take the smell of milk. Why are you getting it so close to my nose? And then it just got me thinking as I was doing this talk that I could never take the smell of milk, the plain milk. But at the same time, I could take milk with faluda or banana smoothie or muesli or with anything else. And that got me to thinking of many more things about the thousands of patients which I've seen. And even in a hospital setting, even when you're going through a very crucial cancer surgery, patients were like, "ये खाना मैं नहीं खाऊंगा, क्योंकि ये मेरे घर का जैसा नहीं." Also, many of the patients or clients which I see till date, they have reached 45 years of their life eating 3 vegetables, 4 vegetables. Nobody has really, and sometimes people also say, "ये खाना garam nahi, obviously you can't eat it." This is picky eating. This is learned behavior that they have. Now, if as adults, they find it so hard to make those changes, here in terms of children, I have used the word selective because there's a reason behind it. Why they are not eating certain foods or what is happening. One of the main reasons is also the sensory issues which are happening. So why have I used the word selective and not picky here? When you say picky, it's more like kya sar dard hai. But when you think about selective eating, it almost coaxes you to look for the reasons behind why a person is selecting. We select friends. We don't mix with everybody. We don't mix with people sometimes when we've had bad experience with them. So similarly with food, a child may have had bad experience with the food, so he doesn't take it again. Or maybe he just doesn't like it. That's his choice. Or maybe he has sensory issues because of which he is not having. So all these things need to be considered. Now, when we say selective eating can be eating very few foods and repeating those foods again and again. Now, like I said, we need to realize, first of all, there could be because of sensory processing. And what is sensory processing? It is our ability to interpret smell, taste, sound, touch, sight, movement, and it is completely unique to every individual on the planet. As adults, we may be desensitized to these taste and smell, but many of the children are not. Now, before we go to the sensory processing also, first, when you notice your child eating few foods, first thing which we need to rule out are any medical problems or dental issues. He's like completely shutting his mouth to it or shoving it away. Maybe he's having stomach ache, bloating, constipation, diarrhea. Maybe he's having cavities. Maybe he's having infection. Maybe he's having inflammation. Maybe he's having pain in his tooth. There could be so many different reasons which first need to be identified. Then when we think of exploring the new food, we also need to appreciate the efforts he takes. Now, what I mean to say is, when you are faced with something new, imagine your time when you passed your 10th standard and went to college. You were in a comfort zone with the same friends for so many years and you had a rapport with them and you were very comfortable with them. Suddenly you go to a new college where there is nobody whom you know. Now from that state, you would really wish कि एक जन भी मेरे साथ आएगा तो I'll feel a little better. एक भी मेरा comfort जन मेरे साथ आएगा, so I will feel better. So that's exactly the way they are feeling. They're feeling very anxious about the new because they know nothing about it. There's been no introduction. So we first of all need to understand that, and then there needs to be a very gradual exposure to the new food. You keep it on their plate, let them smell it, touch it, familiarize them with the food, crush it, smear it, lick it, smell it, know the food, introduction ho raha hai. Then when they're doing it, and this has to be done on a very consistent level and on a repeated level. So repetition and consistency are the golden words here. So at least 2 times in the week, the new food needs to be given. Now, when you see that they are trying, it is very important. Praise on trying the new food is very, very important. Now, if I put myself in the child's shoes and think that my mother would have given me that 1 spoon of milk is very good for my health and I'm supposed to take it, and she would have done that to me, I would have said, I don't care however good it is, I can't take the smell. I would have pushed it away. Now, there are kids who are taking the effort to take that food. You consider some food which you don't like. I'll give you frog meat and it is very good for you, I'll say. What is the first reaction you have? Oh, so for them, it's new. It's not something in their comfort zone. So when they are trying the food, empathize with them. And I will give you an example where a mother said that a child never ate fruits, but she gave him fruits and he brought the spoon to his mouth and took it away, smelled it, took it away. And he did it almost a dozen times. Ultimately, he didn't eat it, but still taking that effort was a brave step. Trying to step out of the comfort zone was a brave step. And even if he did not do it, it was an investment. So appreciation is very necessary there. And the chances of when the child is exposed to the food many a time, the chances of him having it are more. I will tell you different ways of doing it as we go ahead. And one other important factor which also would help when you're introducing new foods is if the children are playing in the garden or play area. There's another story, anecdote where the mother of this child who had autism, he wasn't able to eat methi thepla because the methi, used to come in his mouth and he used to not like the feel. He used to not eat it at all. Now another friend of his would get his own dabba to eat in the garden. So his mother was feeding him. Now when his mother was feeding him, he was eating methi thepla. Now seeing this kid on the spectrum also tried to eat the methi thepla. He ate it and his mother was surprised, how did he do this? Because this kid was eating, he also started eating. And then the mother asked the recipe, ki kaise banaya kya? She made it in the same way. Same methi thepla, with the same methi in it, he started having. Because he was with his friend who was having and enjoying. And so he was enjoying. So see the positive state of mind, peer influence, that plays a very big role. That is one thing. If you can see the picture below, I have given one old comfort food, then a new food, the same food with probably methi or spinach ka puree, and then again the old food. So it's a little easier for the child. It's no force. He has a choice to eat or not eat. Okay. Then here we go to the introduction to Mr. and Miss Food. Now here what we are doing is, if you notice, please make a note of the foods also which I'm showing you. They are very important. Try to incorporate them. First, what you see on the picture is ragi. Now ragi is very high in calcium, very high in all your vitamins, good source of cereals. And Now, if you see, there is pista, there's kaju on it. So after the ragi pudding is made, you can ask your child to just put that, press a pista or a badam on it. He just touches that pista badam, he touches the ragi, he can press it inside. There is no force to eat. He just does that. And if you notice, if you did not have that piece, it wouldn't look so nice. But the once that piece comes, it gets a little good get up. And very simple thing, not doing too much of work. The child itself, when he does that, praise the child again. Ki, wow, look at the plate. It's looking so appetizing. Ki, now it's looking tasty and it's so soft. That's it. Leave it at that. Don't force him. But every time you make that ragi thing, ask him to do it. Put a little bit in his plate, see whether he eats it. Also, the next things, very simple thing like garnishing of coriander on dal. One, dal, very important source of protein, very important to have in your meals. Two, the coriander is the richest antioxidant source in the Indian diet, which is not very well known to people. So now you ask your child to just put that coriander beech mein, it entirely changes the get up. Praise the child for doing so. Oh, wow, look at the color combination. It's looking so beautiful. The dal looks so inviting now. Put a little bit. You take it. Everybody take it. And attach positivity with the dal. It's tasty. Then, but no force. No force. Then, if you have something like cutters, you make a roti. So you make a normal roti, sabka roti bana do, last roti iska rakho, ask him to come with a cutter. And can you see the shapes on the side? Just ask him to place some of the shapes and wo roti ko dalo tawe pe. So you have a fish roti, you have an elephant roti, you have a rabbit roti. Try it. And it looks interesting. And you made the roti. Wow. Let me also try one. Increase the conversation, increase the communication. Then you can see beet, spinach, haldi. All these will leave color. So when you are making beetroot in the house and when there's water coming out, that water, you take a little bit in a katori, very little, give it to him, give a paintbrush, ask him to paint on paper. Ask him to just paint and make whatever he wants. Similar with spinach, similar with haldi, pani. Just ask him to do that. Next time when you give him little bit of shreds of the beetroot, one or two with it. After some time, gradually put it in the plate, just a very tiny shred of it, not a big piece, with what food he likes. That is one way. So this way you're kind of introducing those foods to him. Also, what you see on the plate is another dalia. Dalia is again a very good source of carbs, fiber, and this is dalia khichdi. So it's a complete one-pot meal with dahi, probiotic, and this entire meal is very good for your gut also. You ask him to just put it in a bowl and upturn. So again, it looks very nice. He or she contributed in making it. Let him or her feel that. And let all of you enjoy the meal. No force. Now, children, we also have a sensitivity issue with the textures. Chole, a very, very important ingredient, needs to be incorporated if you can. All your folic acid, your fiber, your proteins, your minerals. It's real super packed. Now, chole, if you can't eat it just like that, then usko hummus bana do. If you can't eat it like hummus, then usko patties type bana do. You can put in some veggies also inside there. And so what you do is turn the form of the food. The nutrition and the chole remains. You turn the form of the food in which you're serving it to the child. Depending on this, the food, the texture which he can take. Okay. Now, similarly, tomato, which is very squishy. Sometimes some children can't take the squishy taste. You know that in the mouthfeel, it's not good. Convert it into a sour. Convert it into a chutney. Sometimes if you want to put in a sandwich, remove the middle part, cut it into pieces and put it. So just change the form of the original food into various different foods. You process it in that way. Now, next is being comfortable towards food. If you go to a wedding and you have reception ko gaye, you have a chaat stall, you have a dosa corner, you have some other corner. You are very happy कि आज मुझे मुगलाई नहीं खाना अच्छा है, आज डोसा कॉर्नर है, डोसा है, I can eat that. You're giving a choice. Whenever somebody is given a choice, they feel good and they feel they have some control. And it is always good with children to give them a choice within boundaries, so they feel they can exercise their control also. And what I'm trying to give you and choices here. First of all, I have emphasized protein rich food. Let there be protein in every meal. And सब दही generally होता है, अंडा generally होता है, mostly दाल होती है. So if usal is made, or some chole or something is made, that also can. So you can ask, दही खाओगे या दाल खाओगे, अंडा खाओगे या फिश पनीर खाओगे, टोफू खाओगे या चिकन खाओगे. Some two choices, one which is easily available in the house and one which you are going to make that day, where generally dahi is there, anda is also there. So these two choices, so you give it. Now if he eats both, fantastic, but if he's choosing, at least he has a choice. Then also adding a secret ingredient. Now I have given an example of sambar. You can put it any other dal also and other vegetables, and ask, so you boil it and keep, and ask him to put it, and you tell, let all other family members see which secret ingredient you have put in today. Again, create some excitement or some positivity around the food and give him choice and control within limits. 1 second. Then bring some food. Bring some food to the temperature of your child can take it, cold versus hot. Soup हमेशा hot ही होना चाहिए, नहीं है. A mother gave an anecdote where she kind of soup banaya, kept it in the fridge. Next day morning, the child ate up the entire thing. At night, he didn't eat it only. जब वो ठंडा था, he was able to, he liked that mouthfeel and all the veggies in the tummy. An idea which you can give also is with the soup, dal soup. So in the dal also goes in, the veggies also go in, the pieces. Try never to like if you puree it, don't strain it. Pani mat nikalo. The puree is necessary. The pieces are necessary to go in. The fiber is necessary. Also, some children may find the presentation messy. Abhi idli or sambar, and I wanted to also put chutney on it to show you that it's a messy presentation. But if you give idli separate, sambar separate, chutney separate, it's more clear. Khane mein it is more easier for them. So presentation also may make a difference. The mouth feel, the temperature of the food, all these also can make a difference. Then we come to, this is sprouts, and we come to a social story where we can make a social story around sprouts. Sprouts are very important in our diet. Try to incorporate them. So it's, so see, I have also shown you on the side, there was an egg container. इसमें just one spoon of मिट्टी डाला है, and I put the chole ka seed, moong ka seed, and it's very interesting for them to see it grow also. So that is, and the microgreens term, you can use them also. Now, what does the story look like? 1 second. Oh, looks like our little moong is a little anxious to meet us or be friends with us. It's okay. Let's give him time. I guess he may be happy in the swimming pool. So you saw the water in which you could ask the child to put all the moong in the swimming pool. So cool and quiet. The sprouts have now jumped into the swimming pool of water. And after a few hours, let's wait and see. Allow the child to keep it. After a few hours, then you go and see. The child has waited, okay, for a few hours. Then you could say, did you notice the magic? Ask him to touch the sprouts. The sprouts have drunk up the water and are full, and the tummy is so soft. Let us touch them. They look a little happy. Feel them, explore them, then let him do whatever he wants with the sprout. Touching it, bring it close to his nose, but they still haven't yet come out of their shell. They still need time, I guess, till tomorrow morning. Let's wait till tomorrow morning. The next day, the moon sprouts. The children need to be congratulated for their kindness in handling the moon and the patience they showed towards the moon. So by it's a behavior which we have kind of training them into, that to show patience, to wait. Now the sprouts, the moon is sprouted and the baby sprouts pop out of their heads, and it's sheer magic for the kids. You can consume it. Put a spoonful in her or her plate, no force. Let it become a ritual. Use very small amounts, but let it become a ritual. Sprouts are should actually form an integral part of the diet. Now, like we see here, we make a chart with the moon. Keep all the ingredients in the correct proportion ready. Keep them in separate bowls. Mix everything. But who is going to do the mixing? The ones who are forming the relation. Hence, I encourage you to give the choice to the kid. Let him or her decide what main ingredient or color goes in first, second, and so on. Some stuff may spill, as you can see in my pick also, but that's okay. The process of doing and taking the effort is much more important, and trying to do something new with so much enthusiasm deserves appreciation. Wow, the sprouts really like you. They're hopping onto your spoon, ready to mix with others. It looks so beautiful. That's it. He eats or he doesn't eat. You try that. But making sprouts, make it a ritual to do it every week. Be it moong, matki, whichever one. Now keep in mind. Do this sprouting every week with the child's help. Now this sprouting done every week becomes a ritual, and this paves the way for a lifestyle to incorporate the sprouts in this manner. So if ingested, it takes in proteins, vitamin C, vitamin A, fiber, antioxidants, minerals, and mom's love and appreciation. Very nutritious indeed. Okay, so just see the amount of nutrition which comes through this. So do make it a part of your lifestyle. Now we also talk about, this was also one medium what we saw, sprouting as a means of bonding. So we further see food as a medium to increase life skills, bonding, and nutrition, and also tackle selective eating. Now, food as a medium to enhance life skills and bonding. Generally, the first person a child is exposed to is his mother. And my child would love me to be his mother first, his trainer later, or his driver who takes him from one class or training center to another later. First, be my mother, be with me. Bonding over cooking gives a wonderful opportunity to do that. So I'll share an anecdote with you. A 6-year-old child on the spectrum used to see his mother make an egg omelette every time. So he had seen how she does it. She has a vessel and she has the mixing this thing, and she breaks the eggs, puts it in. She's seen that. So the next day, after a few days, she asked him to do it. So she kept a bowl there. She kept eggs uske baaju mein, and she kept the spoon to mix it. The kid took the egg, hit it inside the vessel. So it broke inside the vessel. Shells, she removed it out and kept it. Then he took the beater and started beating it on his own. Now she also allowed him to pour that mixture onto the tawa. And she said, I'm standing there, it's okay, he can do it. And she was there and we saw it happen. Now it's up to each parent how much risk one takes. But mixing, doing this activity, it's a fantastic way of being exposed to this food. And in this case, a nutritious food, like I told you. Egg is superb. It has your fantastic quality of protein, which is absorbed totally in the body. Then it has vitamin 1, vitamin 2, then it has vitamin A, it has biotin, it has folic acid, it has everything. It's extremely good for the brain. So if used in this way, and it's a very versatile food, can be used in many things. So giving eggs again to your kids, great. Also, if you see in the picture, there's a child shelling peas. Again, pea is a very good source of fiber in the diet, source of protein. And when they're shelling it, even their fine motor skills are getting better. They know they're contributing to the meal. They receive appreciation for that. And it becomes a regular part. They're doing something constructive. And if you see the child here washing the vegetables, you help them wash it. You help them, what to say, if they're not doing it correctly, you correct them, but let them do it. Let them be involved in these activities. Then you make them touch different textures. What I'm showed you here is the idli batter. So you have urad dal, very good source of vitamin 3, then B3. Then you have methi seeds, very good source of fiber. And you have parboiled rice, again, a very good source of carbs and proteins. And you make them touch those different textures, make them wash it, and let them put their hands in it, play with let them feel it. The next thing is that idli batter, when you want to put it in the mixer, ask them to put 2-3 spoons of it into the mixer. Okay. Then when you use the mixer, when you remove it out, ask them to feel that. Give a spoon of it to them and let them feel. So they're seen the change from that grain to a paste. Then when you put it on the idli vessel, they can be around, they can see what is happening, and then they see the final product and touch it. So step by step, they have seen the way the ingredients have changed into a food. So somewhere, step by step, you have helped them get over their anxiety of that new food also, which you want them to eat. Also things like sandwich. It is not compulsory कि sandwich एक के ऊपर एक बन करके ही खाना है और अंदर veggies होना ही चाहिए. I can have an open sandwich also, or I can have the veggies separate and chutney लगा के on the bread also, and then I can have it with it. As long as the sabzi goes in the tummy and the chutney is going. Again, the chutney has coriander, very good food to incorporate weekly. So coriander goes, garlic goes, and mint goes. If you put onion of this goes. All these are very, very good antioxidants, antibacterial, and very good for the gut. So try to incorporate these, and the raw veggies, if they go in, fantastic. Then using food and nutrition to nourish other skills. Again, you see cucumber there, very good source of fiber for constipation. So just bringing that to your notice. Then using food and nutrition to nourish other skills. You have your roti, like earlier we said, you can put the shapes. And then here also you can change the color of the roti. So we first gave them the spinach water to paint, then they smelt it, they taste, then they might have tasted it also. Then you show the same spinach puree, and then that puree you ask them to pour it into a small roti which you are giving it to them probably, if everybody doesn't want. Uska bana ke dekho, see what happens. Give your old roti, give the new roti, give the old roti. Also chapati counting. When you're sitting across the table, just pass me 1 roti, pass me 2 rotis. So they'll learn counting. Similar with the measurement spoons, half spoon, quarter spoon, 1 tablespoon, they understand measurements. And so if they help you anytime, those measurements are used. Also sorting. So you bring vegetables from the market every time. So we have to put them in bags, ask them to do the sorting, name the vegetables, ask them to put it in big bags, whichever vegetables they can, whichever are age appropriately they can do. So that also would improve concentration, mathematical skills. So this way. Then using food to bond and communicate and nourish. Now in this, suppose in the evening, it's rainy season, everybody likes to have onion bhajia. One example I have given, make very small proportions and you ask them to bring the vessel, show them where the vessel is, bring the vessel, you show them the places for where it is. You put onion in the basin, ask them to put, you show them this is basin, they will also put in, mix it. Then you show the masala dabba. When you're putting every masala, ask them to smell it, name the masala. And when they can do all this, now even when you put the bhajia in the oil, if those who don't want it too fried, you can use the appe vessel also to do it. So cooking is a wonderful time to engage your child with playing with the food. So when they smell the spices, and not only does it expose your child to different foods, it helps them to eat the new foods. It also creates a level of investment. Plus, once they help with the meal, they're more likely to try the food when they sit down to eat. Now, it's still immensely helpful in seeing how foods are prepared, and then they are better able to understand how the food looks like once it is set down in front of them. So I mix the onion with the basin, I put in haldi, I put in red chili powder, now I'm mixing it. Now I need a little more water, so I put that. You are helping them face their anxiety as they see the ingredient being transformed. You are playfully doing it in an enjoyable manner. And in this process, they are learning a whole lot of communication. Yes, you will need patience. Allow them to do the safe jobs. Show them the washing, like I said. Keep each effort very casual and try not to have expectations. Your child can feel those expectations even if they are unsaid. It's very important. Your child can feel your expectations, good or bad, even when they are unsaid. And he will refuse to eat the new food you are desperately hoping that he or she should. So when you involve them in cooking, what happens is they will touch, feel, probably get desensitized to many textures. So that is one thing. Now, nutrition, we have various tools. So nutrition, but in a fun way, you use tools. We had this Ravi when we were small. So to make chas, so you give dahi, you put water, they can just kind of use it, or even with their hand, they can mix it like this. Then, nowadays you get, so what you get from that, you get milk, curd, you're getting, curd and chas, very good probiotic, very good for the gut. Then you also have such vessels, where you can chop veggies and make them small. Size chota ho jata hai. Just pull it. It's fun. Just pull it and the veggies get chopped. You can try that. So they get exposed to the vegetables and they associate fun with vegetables. Okay. Then even mashing. If you can see the girl in the picture, she has potatoes and she's using the masher to mash it. Then you can also give them carrots at the same time, a different color. Mash it. Give French beans, which all this cooker may, you can just boil it. Ask them to do this mashing. Use very small quantities. Make into a tikki. Put all the masala which you require and give them. So you have taken in vitamin A, you have taken in fiber, you have taken in carbohydrates, you have taken in some vitamin C, and all this goes inside without even knowing, in a fun manner. Also, you have a fruit, smoothie makers. So where you can actually see the fruits that the child is not eating. So you can see the fruits, you put the milk, you see what is happening inside, moves. They might love to see the spinning thing and it's completely changed into a smoothie. Just allow them to put the pieces of fruits inside, whichever cut fruits are there, and watch the fun. Say, wow, look at it changing. Add some marketing to it. That देखो क्या हो रहा है. Add some positivity to it. Similarly, you can make some laddus with the nuts. Nuts are very essential. Okay, nuts, dry fruits, very essential in the diet. If you can take it, sone pe suhaga. So you have almonds, pistas, you have dates, then you have apricots, you have many others like this, which you can ask them to just put it in the mixer, put this black currants, all this is very good for constipation also, and mix it and uska laddu banao. So at least they can do the act of putting all these things in, name the thing what you're putting in, okay, and take very small quantities, try it out. That is one thing. Then when you have new food at meal time, always remember it takes 10 to 12 times for anybody to be served a new food to like it or dislike it. serve in a different style, cut into pieces. I'll show you in the next slide what I mean by that. Cut or chop as thin as possible when you're giving something new, because it's less texture to feel and less to chew. Okay, that is lesser effort that time. Then serve 1 or 2 times a week. When you serve the food, avoid asking your child if they like it or try it. Act as if you don't care if they eat it or not, and you continue to serve every time. Okay. Now, what I mean by different ways of giving the same thing is you put on your creative hats. Now, if you see one sandwich, it's plain, another is roasted, another has a curd dip inside with those veggies in it, and then you have a sandwich. Maybe they doesn't like the presentation as triangle, maybe rectangular chahiye, maybe square chahiye. Maybe he doesn't want to eat one on top of the other, but they're separate. Also, if you see the last photograph, there are chips kept there. Maybe he likes chips. थोड़े chips रखो, sandwich veggies रखो, ये रखो. Try that combination. Different ways. This is also depending on the texture with the child can eat. So crunchy hoga to then those toasted sandwiches. Then now we come to gluten restricted diet. Who needs to take it? Just a second. Who needs to take gluten restricted diet? Not every child on the autism spectrum is gluten sensitive. Not every child on the autism spectrum is casein sensitive. Only if your child shows some symptoms of bloating, constipation, vomiting, diarrhea recurrently, and there is no diagnosis also, you don't need to take it. But if there is, you're feeling these symptoms, then you can try the gluten-free diet or the casein-free diet for 3 months to 6 months. And if you don't see results, stop it. Okay, so it is not a universal thing. It is not autism bola to, this is not autism diet. It has not been proven. It has proven no effect otherwise. And only in some children, if you're feeling these symptoms, then they may respond to it. Now, I will broaden this thing and let you know what I want to say more. First of all, what is the motivation behind it for every parent? Some other parent told them. They saw it on the internet. They saw it. Somebody else told मुझे कि 1 month किया बहुत improvement हुआ, ये behavior में improvement हुआ, वो इसमें improvement. What happens is, suppose the child is having some discomfort, he will express it in a form which you will call as behavior. He is having abdominal pain, vomiting, constipation. He is not able to tell that. Okay, it will be expressed. So every child with autism may not have an issue with gluten. It is not like a universal thing. Sabko dena hai. Does my child need it? Like I said earlier, only if he has or she has these symptoms. Now, if you go to see the long list, what needs to be avoided?
Eknath, you need to unmute yourself.
So if you have symptoms such as these, can I start from there? This is where I missed out from. Okay, so you avoid atta, maida, suji, like the entire list given here. So mostly children will have noodles, rusk, this toast, biscuits, the common ones, and wheat products, roti. Okay, the very common ones. Now, products which may contain gluten, which you don't know, ready-made soup, salad dressings, marinade, soya sauce, like I said earlier, pre-seasoned meat, even Play-Doh, which children put in their mouth sometimes. That, so you give them gluten-free flour wala Play-Doh. Eggs, lipsticks, lip balms, all these. Avoid most Indian foods without labels. Barley water, hot chocolate. The names I've given Complan Horlicks just to give you an idea about the milk-based the foods, which are available in the market, and many others. Also soups made of soup cubes or soup powder. Tinned and canned foods, sauces, baked beans, seekh kebab, tikka available outside. Now, dhokla, khandi, rice. Now you will say dhokla is besan, khandi is besan. But in India, if you go to make dhokla with besan and butter chakli with only rice flour, it's very expensive. So there is a lot of adulteration which happens, and there is mostly maida which is used very widespread because there are no labels also outside. So you have to be very careful about that. Even over-the-counter medications, vitamins. Now, what possible factors to consider if you want to do a GFCF diet? If you see some symptoms on a recurrent basis, and or you just want to try it, then first you consider that you go slow. Second, eliminate one food at a time. पूरा रोटी एक बार में eliminate नहीं करना. First you tried eliminating biscuits and those other foods which you're getting from outside. First see that if that itself is making a change. Then you replace the food and mainly the nutrient which is eliminated. Abhi, if you are not taking paneer, replace it with tofu so that you get that proteins. Avoid cross-contamination. What is cross-contamination? There are two ways. One, cross-contamination happens at the industrial level. One happens in your own home. At the industrial level, what happens? Suppose there's a company which is making oats. Once the oat batch is done, then they put the wheat products RI. So it may have traces. Some people will say that traces are present, some will not say. Okay, so there that cross-contamination happens. So many times oats is not the one which may have this, but if the same company is making wheat and the same company is making oats, chances are there thoda cross-contamination happens. Then cross-contamination in the kitchen. Now, when you're in the kitchen, you made your roti, sabka ho gaya, you want to make ragi ka roti. When you're doing that, the wheat flour is there around somewhere. It's stuck somewhere. Even if your child is gluten sensitive, then even those little particles which come into the food through that contamination, it can cause a problem. If the child is tested for gluten sensitivity, okay, then maintain a food diary or other activity book. That means note the date and time when the food is eaten, the amount of food eaten, and what changes you are seeing. Also, it would be useful to maintain a list of what other activities the child did that day. Did he go for speech therapy? Did he go for music therapy? Did he have any other storytelling? Something happened, something else. Make a list of that. Okay. In the nutritional factors, it's important to know that nutrients like protein, vitamin, calcium, iron, and other nutrients need to be replaced appropriately, or else the child may suffer nutritional deficiencies which lead to delayed puberty, short stature, hair loss, weak bones and teeth. Here I'm considering gluten and casein-rich diet. Skin issues, cognitive functions affected, mental clarity, weight loss. So you replace it correctly. In the environmental factors, you need to know if the child doesn't have gluten sensitivity and casein sensitivity, and he's not showing any symptoms, where you would feel like want to do this. First, understand that is he or she already a selective eater. Then it is going to make it more difficult for your child and for you to introduce these foods. Does he or she have a sibling? If a child is very chotu, abhi 6, 7 years, 10 years, they also feel like having. So just for one, you will stop bringing it in the house. Then again, so you will need to take the mental health of the sibling also into consideration. You have to take into consideration their needs also. Age of the sibling also. वो छुपके से लाके भी, suppose he agrees also, छुपके से लाके भाई या बहन को दिया, अरे my mother is not giving, I should give. So children think in a very different way. So she is not giving it to him and he likes it, so I will give it. For them, it may be fun. So again, that cooperation from other family members. If you're in a joint family, then what about the other members? Because you need to create an environment for the child to have a particular food. When you see everybody having it, it becomes more, what to say, encouraged, and automatically it becomes easier. Can you change the entire kitchen setup? Can you control the maid who is suppose you are not cooking, somebody else is cooking, or someone else from the family is cooking? Can you control the cross contamination? Will everybody change everything? Even hiding the food stuff, there can be repercussions. What is a taboo is always, you want to have it. Also, the child can think, मेरे से मुझे क्यों नहीं दे रहे? Is there something wrong with me that I am not being given it? Everybody else is having. So you need to be very tactful and think about all the situation before you embark on this journey. If you do not have any symptoms and the child is eating fairly okay. Now, if you want, now this is to include अगर नहीं ले रहे gluten या gluten ले रहे, like if you're not taking roti or if you're taking roti, it is good if you have all these other cereals also included in your diet. Okay, you get a lot of, the more variety, that is better, but it depends individually, for child to child, family to family, how much you can take in. If you have never tried millets in your life, then one millet at a time. And when you replace, like I said, if you don't need to replace the entire roti at one time, first with adha wheat flour, adha bajra, or 3/4 wheat flour, 1/4 bajra, then half wheat flour, half bajra. That way you increase it. That is, if biscuits वगैरह सब निकाल के भी, कुछ ये नहीं हो रहा है. Then rice, parboiled rice, these are good. It's better to avoid things like basmati rice, which is very refined, and rajgira atta, again very good source of calories, proteins, everything. Quinoa. So rajgira, I think, is better than quinoa. So that is also one thing. Now we come to casein restricted diet. I have actually covered quite a bit. So I'll tell you which foods to risk. What happens if you really have casein intolerance or casein allergy? You will see swelling of lips, mouth, tongue, skin reactions, nasal congestion, runny nose. So every child may not have this issue with milk. You will see the signs. Okay. Now, which foods to avoid? The entire plethora of milk, butter, cheese, condensed milk, chas, lassi, khoa-based mithai, paneer, ghee. Many biscuits also may have milk. See the labels. Start with avoiding. So now, do I have to completely eliminate milk and meat if I want to do the GFCF diet? First, start with avoiding fried, baked biscuits, cakes, fries on a daily basis first. Then review. Does it work? Weekends or once in a month, can you allow them to have? Because what happens is, when a child, socialization is very important here. You want to teach that to the child. So whichever opportunity you get, probably in the school, or if it is a birthday, the most common things available are pasta, pizza, noodles. If the child is a type who likes food, then this can be kind of hindrance. Because if you make him sit separately, he again starts thinking that what is less in me that I have to sit separate. Why am I separate? Again, it's isolate. It's different. So you want them to be in a group. You want them to hear, see, be there. So think again, if you do not have any symptoms, if you do not have anything causing these issues on a recurrent basis, you do not have a diagnosis of casein allergy or gluten sensitivity, then think again. And if you want to do it, try for 3 to 6 months and replace correctly all the nutrients which need to be given to your child. Now, gluten-free or casein-free foods to include, irrespective whether you follow the diet or not. These things kind of should be there in your diet. Peanuts, chana, almonds, pista, walnut, cashews, milk. I'm not saying keep almond milk or oats milk. If you are not going to give the regular milk, then almond milk, oat milk, is better. Some oats milk is better. Sprouts of moong, matki, brown black chana, green chana, chole, rajma, chavli, black or green brown chana, white watana or the dried watana, dals, masoor dal, moong dal, chana dal, as much variety you can get. Basically, that is what I'm trying to address. And seeds, pumpkin seed, flax seed, till seeds, very important. Soya beans, soya nuggets, if you can, if no allergy, coconut in moderate amounts. And if you're a non-vegetarian, eggs, chicken, fish, like the oily fish, bangda, ravas, tarli, surmai, and vegetables and fruit. Again, jitna le sakte ho, that is better. Now, what does authentic research say in the area of autism and diets? Studies described nutrition. Now, this was a promising role of probiotics in managing the altered gut in autism spectrum disorders. Studies describe nutrition as having a significant impact on the gut microbiome. Chemicals, pesticides on food, artificial sweeteners, or preservatives have been shown to disrupt the biodiversity and function of the gut. Basically, all the foods which we get over the counter on the shelf, biscuits, chivdas, chaklis, those kind of things in the Indian settings, okay, made from outside, various, those preservative wala things. You don't need to have them on a regular basis. Various diets have been studied in autism. All the diets have a common point of excluding processed food and including more dietary fiber that will act as prebiotics and fermented food to promote shift of dysbiosis to eubiosis. Dysbiosis is bad bacteria in the gut to good bacteria in the gut. And when you have more of good bacteria in the gut, it is there's a theory, a brain, a gut barrier, and brain gut axis. But always having, what happens is when you make a good gut, it is anyway beneficial for every individual to have a good gut. And when specifically in autism, they have found that preservatives and sugar, okay, very important, should be avoided. So like I told from the previous things, whatever foods are mentioned earlier, all of them contain the proteins, the fiber, the fats, the minerals, the polyphenols, and no processed food, sugar, and preservative. This is what, if you want to give. Now, the probiotics is the easiest, most accessible, available source is dahi or chas, curd rice, these ones. Then prebiotics, garlic, onion. That's why I said the chutney. So plain garlic goes into it. Tomatoes, which is a base for mostly all foods. Then beans. Now I've shown you these beans, cluster beans. So all other kinds of beans also. Then you have the chavli, rajma, white chavli, all those also. And peas, all these come under prebiotics. Now various food groups, like I told you earlier, let there be more variety if you can. Okay, so in the fruits and vegetables, also yellow and orange fruits and vegetables. In the veggies, increase the, it should not just be restricted to potato and cauliflower. Try and include more slowly. Many a times what happens is what the people in the house eat, also the child emulates. So we also have to take a look at what we are eating. Sometimes, or most of the times, it's wheat, which is only there. Sometimes, most of the times, it's 3-4 vegetables actually in the house also, which everybody else is eating, and they don't go beyond that. So observe that. Nuts and seed are important. I would urge you to try and include these in the diet. You get a plethora of microminerals. Also, for oral sensory, sometimes you want to chew or something, it's better to give these nuts. And how to have it, you can have it along with the fruits if that is comfortable, or plain, or made into a laddu. I would give emphasis to flax seeds also. Roast them a little bit, not too much, and try to consume it or add it in the foods. Also sesame seeds, very good for constipation. Again, flaxseed, very good for constipation, and black currants. All these three, try to have them. All those who do have a problem with constipation, try to include these in your diet. Okay. All the nuts are going to give you a lot of the minerals you can see above: calcium, zinc, iron. Generally, zinc you will get from non-veg food, but if you're not having non-veg foods, nuts is a very, very important food group which you must involve. Also, omega-3, which you're getting from flaxseed and you're getting from the walnuts. Okay, try to include these. Now we come to constipation, which seems to be one of the issues people are talking about. There are many reasons, like you can see here. It has to be, water has to be adequate. If there is inadequate insoluble fiber, inadequate activity, inadequate soluble fiber also, inadequate sleep, too much refined food, defecating posture. You establish a ritual or कि इसी time पे toilet जाना है. Or if you don't have that, then again is a cause for constipation. Sleep also is a cause, and too much supplemental iron and calcium if the child is being given. In terms of food, you need to, again, like I said, beans, dalia, papaya, very good for constipation. Bananas, if you're giving, black currants, anjeer, another very good source. So anjeer, I would stand for anjeer, black currants, papaya, flaxseed, water, adequate water. If you just can't give, you're not drinking water, then lemon juice karke, lemon, very good source of vitamin C. Squeeze it immediately, dal ke de do. Squeeze it on other foods, good. So black currants, papaya, banana, flaxseed, beans, all kinds of veggies, and methi and other green leafy vegetables. Now, when you are consuming food, give them small morsels. A lot of digestion is happening in your mouth. So there is some salivary amylase, an enzyme which is causing digestion in the mouth. So give them small food, teach them to chew. Teach it, do it. Show the mastication, demonstrate it, tell. Teach them to have smaller quantity. And vegetables, if possible, finely chopped. Also, sometimes chole, rajma, people say it's gaseous, so gas forming hota hai. Give 8 to 9 CTs in the cooker before giving it. And remove, when you soak the rajma, chole, and any other legumes overnight, remove that water, wash it, then cook it in that water. But when you cook it in that water you don't throw away. Camel milk. Now, camel milk has become a big thing now, with the railways providing camel milk to a mother, and that really caught on the attention. That is camel milk really important. So they have assumed that there is this protein, beta globulin, which is responsible for autism. This is an assumption. Still, it is not a fact. So the market or the camel milk manufacturers have taken this assumption and made it a hype. Beta globulin is not in camel milk, so it is safe for consumption. So it will remove all the autism symptoms, core symptoms. This is hypothesis. This is not a fact. Studies have shown camel milk is not beneficial in any condition or symptom related to ASD. Studies have shown it is not beneficial. For autism, it is not proven. Okay. This is very similar to companies saying red wine has antioxidants. Please take red wines. So many fruits and so many vegetables have so much of antioxidant, but there is no profit in it. So red wine, these companies benefit. There are so many other foods like this, which in our natural diet are present, but the companies say have the cereals, have the cornflakes, iron enriched. You have so many iron rich foods. Iron enriched करके बाद में क्यों लेना है? So that kind of a thing, please think before anybody advertises that instant results and overly simplifies the theory behind it. It is absolutely not proven. Camel milk, what does the Food and Drug Administration say? They crack down on false claims. So there was a company with various products, including raw camel milk, essential oil. These products have been marketed as a treatment for autism or autism-related symptoms, but have not proven safe and effective for these advertised uses. Extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil is also, some parents say usko dekhe bahut theek hi ho gaya, the symptoms come ho gaya. Now what extra virgin coconut oil does is it can be reduce constipation. It can act as a lubricant. So if the child had constipation, he could not express the discomfort. He expresses it in a form which you say as behavior. And once the constipation was relieved, the symptoms or whatever you say, the behavior reduced. So that could be the only reason. There is no other evidence. There is no other proven fact that extra virgin coconut oil is going to result in reducing behaviors. This is proven. Physical activity karo. Include it in your daily routine. It's essential for relieving constipation. It's essential for relieving excess energy which each individual has. Try to have it at a fixed time daily. Be a role model. When you as a family do it, your child is encouraged to do it. As a parent, you are the most important role model for your child. I encourage you to model it as an active lifestyle for your child. Show them the enjoyment and the value you gain from being active. It helps in many different ways. It generates the happy hormones and it will remove the excess energy which is there in the body. Now, some things where there's already a lot of stress. So it's okay to have lunch. Food we perceive should be had at main meals for breakfast and breakfast for lunch. It's okay to have unusual choices, amras and rice, suppose. It's okay to completely dislike some few foods. It's okay after trying different ways, and if you do not eat, you tried your best, take professional help if required, but don't stress. Conclusion, nutrition is vital during the growing years of your child. And I look at my child as my child first and an individual first who has the same emotional, physical, and nutritional requirements like any other child of his or her age. Food, thus nutritious food selected, is one of the most beautiful ways I can try to bond with my child. He or she may encounter some gastrointestinal difficulties, which he or she may express distress in his own way. We detect it as we would for any other child and work at alleviating his or her pain. Selective eating needs to be handled with patience, creativity, giving choice and control, appreciation and positive reinforcements. And also peer-to-peer influence is an important factor. Variety in including more a variety of grains, cereals, vegetables, fruits, nuts, milk, egg, non-veg, if one eats, will benefit the gut of the child. Hence, more and more exclude only what's proven to be harmful, like preservatives, refined sugar, and artificial colors. Thank you.
Thank you, Meghna. And I think we can start taking certain questions now. Okay.
Just a second.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a question which this parent is asking. We take soluble fiber in our diet in the form of chia seeds, flax seeds. Could you advise the right quantity for children on the spectrum age 13 and 11 years?
Okay, so chia seed and flaxseed is, like I mentioned earlier, is a good way to incorporate fiber. See, around 1 or 2 teaspoons of chia seeds is enough, because when you soak chia seeds in water, it becomes, it increases in the amount. So 1 to 2 teaspoons is enough for giving chia seeds.
Right.
And flaxseed, 1 spoon is enough, roasted.
Okay. At times, constipation issues are there for my daughter, and we include banana every day in our diet along with buttermilk 3 to 4 times a week. Soluble fiber as above. Any further suggestions, please?
Yeah, like I mentioned in the chart already, papaya, black currants, and anjeer. These 3 I would really stress. You can even soak it overnight and take it the next day.
Okay. Any effective remedies, dietary needs to be that can reduce acne or itching on the face? And especially for puberty issues, menstruation cycle is normal and regular.
So then you don't need to really worry. If the menstruation
Yeah.
cycle is normal and regular, and as I know, these children are into sports, and that's
Yeah.
fantastic. So that's going to keep
Correct.
their health really good. No need to worry
Yeah.
about acne and this thing. Avoid chocolates. Many times the
Yeah.
acne are also
Yes.
so that's it. Don't need to worry. You're doing that's best.
Okay. Sarika, would you like to take the next question?
Yes. Please advise intake prior to exercise. In lockdown, it's home cardio, strengthening exercise, yoga, etc. On the other hand, please advise post-workout intake. Also.
Yeah. So it's the same Joanne's question. So these kids are doing a lot of workout. So pre-workout, just a banana is good enough. They're doing it at home right now. Pre-workout, a banana is good enough. Post-workout, all you can have something like a peanut butter sandwich or egg sandwich or a whole grain like ragi porridge. So where there's a carb and protein mixed together, which will help in healing.
Okay.
The next question is, my child eats very less in quantity. Juice also he drinks 2 spoons only, and he eats basically very less. We are trying to give as much nutrition as possible in every morsel, but is that enough?
Yeah,
Other than the supplement required?
First of all, you need to assess whether he's growing well for his height, weight, see whether he's active, and find out why isn't he eating. Like I told you, is there a medical issue there, whether he is not eating? And once you rule out on that, then you can take it forward from there.
Sarika, the next one.
My child is 8 with a very limited diet and has been having the same foods almost every day. His routines are same every day, waking up, sleeping patterns, and minimum of 3 hours per week exercise routine. How can I access his nutritional level to know if I am keeping up with his body's minimum requirement?
So actually, it's a good thing he's physically active 3 times a week. You just need to see whether he is going to toilet daily, regularly, bowels are clear, the child is active, and no other issues other than that. And he's growing well for his age. He's not cranky. So there's nothing irritating him. No need to worry. And he has a regular routine. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
My child doesn't take milk and its products except for curds, as it doesn't suit him. Though we are slowly trying to add that to his diet, want to know if it's necessary, and if not, how to ensure he gets proper nutrition.
If he's not taking milk, it's okay. He's taking curd. So
Yes,
curd, that's fine. You take curd, make chas out of it, you give that. There are other things which you can give, like I already mentioned, dal, sprouts, other sources also need to be included. It's not only dahi. So overall, the intake should be good on those lines. Legumes, like rajma, chole, include all that. And ragi, it's okay. But use the dahi and the chas regularly.
Correct.
It's like milk. Use it like milk.
Yeah. Sarika, next one.
My daughter is 8-year-old. She eats no fruit. What can I do? And also, she is always constipated.
Yeah. Firstly, like I told you, for fruits, in case you have not tried, you can try the way I told you. Put those fruits in the mixer, blender. Try those fun activities with her. See if it works. If not, if she's eating even sprouts, if she's eating things like those legumes which I told, and other leafy vegetables, and she's eating roti and everything, it will work. Now, to include if she's feeling constipated all the time, I told you the reasons. Like it can be because water intake might be inadequate, and she may not be sleeping too well, or the fibers. So the foods which I stressed on, like were anjeer and what's the black currant, soak them at night, and next day you can have them. Also in little warm water in the morning, you can put just a quarter spoon of ghee. If she can just take in, it'll cause some lubrication. That can help. So these are the things.
And
Actually, I think you've touched upon this GFCF diet, but some parent wants to ask how she has been doing it for the last 9 years.
Yes.
How easy can one get? And
I
should
want
she
to
still
ask her,
continue?
have you seen a result? That is more important.
Okay.
No?
Yeah. Correct.
If it is not been effective, stop it. That's what my advice is. And I told you
Yes.
the way to go forward. First, you start with the processed food, stop that, see what happens. Then otherwise you go on to the next thing. That's the
Okay.
easiest way.
Sarika, next one.
yes, my child doesn't show any symptoms you mentioned for milk, but becomes hyperactive upon consuming. What would this mean?
My child doesn't show what? Sorry, can you just...
My child doesn't show any of the symptoms you mentioned for milk, but becomes hyperactive upon consuming.
Okay,
What
but
would be the
is
reason?
the same situation with curd and for other things? Don't give milk if you feel that is happening because of milk. I don't think it should be. But if you think that is the reason, then go for curd. It is
Yes.
going to give you the same nutrition as your milk.
And the same parent is asking, are there tests for testing gluten casein sensitivity?
Yes. You need to go to your doctor and he will tell you test. And that's what, if there are symptoms, then you need to get it tested. Just like that, everybody should not, it is not advisable.
The next question is, this parent is saying, my daughter is very finicky about food because of oral tactile issue. How do I ensure she gets wholesome nutrition?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, oral tactile can be now maybe, there are some children who might like crunchy food with that mouth feel to feel that. Some may want very soft food to feel. Now, I don't know what is her thing. She needs to modify her food according to what the child is already taking, what kind of mouth feel the child is already taking, and try to include all the food groups, which I mentioned. So that is what it is.
Okay. Next question is, my son has milk allergy and had loose motions when he switched over to mother milk to dairy milk. Then we gave him soya milk for 1.5 years. Then he is absolutely okay with the milk and milk products. So is that okay to give milk and milk products regularly? He is 22 now, 22 years old.
He is now 22 years old. Yeah, so now if he can digest it, you give it.
Okay. The next question is, how about a probiotic drink called Yakult? Is it really helpful to our kids?
Thing is, Yakult is very high in sugar. Very high. So if you want to take probiotic, curd is the best one. If you set it at home, better still. Okay. But Yakult, I wouldn't really, because again, the sugar is going to cause the, it may not be very suitable. That is.
I think there's a sugar-free version also available. I think so. There is one. Yes, there is one. I think so. Yeah. The next question is, what should be the amount of food like rice, dal, vegetable for an 11-year-old boy?
Yeah,
Just a
second. Before that, when you say the probiotic thing, it's not only about the curd. Yeah. For the probiotic to be there, you are going to get it from a variety of the vegetables, which I mentioned, like tomatoes, garlic, onions in your daily food, fruits and vegetables. That has to be there, that plethora. It's not only one Yakult or a drink which will help. That is also important to know, right? So you need that combination also.
Sarika? Sarika?
We have started restriction. I think this. We have started restriction over wheat and milk, and started jowar roti. But that is causing gas issue for him. Please suggest.
Because what may have happened is you must have switched over suddenly from wheat to jowar. It was a sudden because jowar has a lot of fiber, and a sudden change like this is going to cause gas. Any fiber, when you suddenly introduce too much, fiber has to be introduced very gradually. Like I told you how to introduce the roti. First 1/4 nikalo, फिर 3/4 more quarter part, then half. ऐसे करके very gradually, especially for your child. Now when you know that this is the way it is, and 1 millet at a time only, in small quantities. The change should be gradual.
Now, this parent wants to know what should be the right amount of rice and dal for an 11-year-old boy.
How much is he eating right now?
Yeah, I guess so. That's it. I mean, it basically differs from child to child.
Yeah.
And each person's constitution is different. So that
Exactly.
I think.
Exactly. But
cannot,
do include a good amount of dal. That I would specify. Let the dal be thick. Good amount of dal should be there. Rice to bachcha lega. It will be a good quantity. But dal should be there in good quantity. Protein should be there in every meal.
The next question is constipation common with autism? My son usually poos only once in 2 or 3 days. Is that fine?
Is that fine in the sense, is he active? Is he cranky? Is the gas is happening? And is there anything like that? Or he's just used to this cycle? How old is he? And is he used to this cycle for many years now? We need to know all that. Generally, in the Indian scenario, we would have it once every day.
Yeah.
So that would be the thing. But if the stools are soft and if they are okay, then there should not be a problem.
What supplement should I give for gut?
For gut,
Yeah.
all supplementation I told you, vegetables, fruits, and everything is supplementation. And only when you don't have anything, then you may have to think. But ideally, don't do it. Right?
Okay. Sarika?
Can you please suggest casein-free probiotics, as my son is allergic to casein?
So if you don't take casein is milk. So you can go to soya milk is the closest good one. There are many other. Almond milk is there, coconut milk is there, cashew milk, all that would be there. But soya milk is the closest one. And in probiotics, like I said, it is not only restricted. It is the dahi is not being there. So you can take tofu and you can take again that soya product and the other fruits and vegetables which have to be included, like all your papayas and fiber-rich foods, because those are the ones which will provide the probiotic and prebiotic together. So it's not only dahi. And if you are bothered about casein, then go to soya milk.
Bloating and remedy child is on GFC diet. Please guide. Gluten-free for ADHD would work or not? Or is the diet good for gut health only?
I just said, na,
Yeah, I think so.
So if you suddenly change, that's what the bloating may have happened. A sudden change of the, or even if it is not done properly, if there has been cross contamination, even then the diet may have not gone on too well. Cross contamination is both the levels. So those things also need to be considered. So you need to look into that first.
Sarika?
And how frequently should a 10-year-old be given deworming protocol?
Once a year is what I know, but I think you should consult your doctor for this.
Need to know diet for curing constipation and other stomach problem, food controlling body heat for a 7-year-old autistic child.
I mentioned
controlling body heat.
So a lot of water, water in various forms, and cucumber should also be included. If the child can eat a raw veggie, cucumber is a very good way to be included in every meals for constipation. And then the other factors which figure in, a lot of other soluble fiber, insoluble fiber, that needs to go. So your rotis, gragi, jawar, everything needs to be there. Wheat needs to be there. All that needs to be there.
You need to know diet for curing constipation. That's okay. For vegetarians, how can we follow GFCF diet?
First of all, is there an issue?
Yeah, sensitivity. Yeah.
Because it's going to be like restricting too much. If there is no sensitivity, if there is no issue and you're doing it, think again. Because this question had come.
Yeah, because a lot of parents are asking, is it really necessary for children on the spectrum?
No.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it. Don't unnecessarily do it. In fact, what will happen is if you restrict too much when nothing is there and you don't replace it adequately with the nutrients which are gone, then you will end up with more complications in terms of which will be seen slowly. You won't see it immediately.
Sarika?
My son is overweight and vitamin D and B deficiency with big specs number. Please advise his diet and what should he avoid eating?
First of all, if vitamin B12 and D deficiency is there, have you done a blood test to know that? If you have done a blood test to know that, then you will have to go to your physician and he will give you the supplements required to replenish that.
Uh,
Then the next
yeah.
part of the question was about overweight. Now, if he is overweight, like I mentioned, physical activity is much more important than restricting or stopping foods. Also, the way he chews his food, give him small morsels of food, chew it well. Once he learns that, give protein in his food, which will ensure satiety, and a good amount of fiber in his food, which will ensure satiety. So he will not overeat, and keep fixed meal timings. And so those things, and physical activity more important rather than just cutting down on foods, and avoid the fried and processed anyways.
Okay. Is Darshana wants to say something?
Yeah, no, just continue. I just wanted to mention that any specific diet that you want from Meghna parents, I think you all should consult her, because when you ask for a diet plan or something, I believe Meghna, as a dietitian, you all need to check the blood test, the child's weight, the child's height, the child's age,
It
and
takes me
other.
1.5 hours of questions before
Exactly.
I go to what has to be done.
Yes. So even if she's giving you answers, you all just can't start those things. So if you feel you all need a proper diet plan, you all need to either consult her or any other dietitian who would be in your vicinity, who can understand our children better. So that's just a request. So take generalized questions where you want to clear your doubts about eating specific food or what combination of food, rather than asking for a diet. Thank you.
Okay, now this is one question. Can we give lemon after giving any item? How much time should we expect behavior changes? I don't think lemon.
Can be given because it is very good source of vitamin C, but freshly cut.
Yeah.
You can make a lemon or squeeze it on
Juice.
food and all. You can have juice also. You can have. That's fine. And after having any specific item, behavior change. If she could specify what item is she talking about, it would.
Yeah.
It is a little vague, but I'm not.
Very vague question. Yeah. Sarika, is there any other?
No, actually the other two questions
Yeah,
are
they just the general question is there, Meghna, about how important is GFCF diet for an autistic kid? So just a round.
Yeah. So like I said,
on that.
yeah, that GFCF diet is not necessary for all the kids. It is not yet proven. Not yet proven. So better, it is not proven effective. That is the main this thing. Only if you have concerns and where you feel there are symptoms and you want to try it, then try it for 3 to 6 months. Do it properly. And if 6 months ke baad you don't see a change, then stop it. So that is what it is about.
Meghna, I had a question to ask. We mentioned about smoothies, right? So if you could specify which fruits should be mixed into a smoothie together and which should be avoided mixed. I believe there, because otherwise, parents sometimes, even I would do it. If I'm not aware, I would rather mix any fruit with any fruit, and it might not help the child and behavior could be seen.
The sweet fruits like mango and banana and chiku, which you will go in a milkshake. So what will not go is things like papaya, pineapple, orange. So they have these enzymes which will cause a reaction with the milk. So those is not advisable. So these ones which are sweet. So obviously, like I said, mango, chiku, banana are the most common. Strawberry, those ones would be the ones which you could use, but not things like watermelon, and those combinations cannot go. Also in a smoothie, I would just like to add that you can put in nuts and the seeds. It will make it more nutritious and to take in. So, and it's good for all kinds of kids.
There's a question which says my child doesn't like to eat. Sorry. Go on, Darshana.
No, because I
No,
thought she's got over, so I was.
no, she does. No, this child doesn't like to eat on his own. He has to be fed. He's 8 years old. If we don't feed him, he doesn't eat at all. Possibly sensory issues as such.
Sensory behavior. I think there were so many
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
It
right?
could be learned
So
Yeah.
behavior, and the child knows कि हो रहा है, and maybe sensory issues also. So it's a combination, like what Darshana said, it's a combination of both. But I
Yeah.
think it's more of learned behavior also.
learned behavior.
Okay.
The
Yes,
child has got it.
yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
What do you advise? Nowadays, it is often said that use the cast iron utensils to maintain the nutrition of the food over the non-stick or aluminum or stainless steel. So what do you have to say about it?
See, it's very good because the iron from the tawa goes into the food. So there is a technique, mostly people don't want it because वो काला काला हो जाता है. So what you can do is at least make the roti on such a tawa. You need to, when you wash the tawa, you have to put oil, smear the oil on the tawa, dono side, and keep it. So that way the tawa remains good. So it can go for generations. This once you buy that one tawa. And it ensures the iron percolates into the food when you make it on that. But what happens is when you take it like a kadhai, many times the vegetable or whatever you make becomes black. So the visual appeal is not so good. So I would suggest at least roti you can do it. Paratha, roti, then it becomes good. Dosa.
Okay.
Just a minute.
There's a question about how much food to be given. This child, I believe, is eating much more than they feel he should be, and he especially eats more non-veg food. Is it fine?
The child eats much more than what he should be.
Yes,
eating.
it's each individual,
Yeah.
Yeah, that they feel he's eating more than what he needs.
What is your idea of his needs? What is his actual needs? And what is he actually eating?
Correct.
Different things.
Right.
So it's a very vague thing. Until you understand that, it's very difficult to answer. He may be eating appropriately. He may be eating more. Or he may be eating less also.
Yeah.
Right now, I cannot just...
Yeah, because it's always individual based. You can never say each one is going to eat the same quantity.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have a question. I have rather two questions, Meghna. Sorry.
Yeah.
The thing is about milk. See, as we have all grown up drinking milk, milk has always been a very important part of our diet. Saying कि milk सेहत के लिए बहुत अच्छा होता है. But like you mentioned, you didn't like drinking milk and you were neither forced. But if a child doesn't drink milk but is eating other things on the plate, is it a crime to not like milk and not drink? And if the mother doesn't want to give milk to the child, what is, because there are many parents whom come because the mother not forcing the child to drink milk is a common cause of conflict between the senior members of the family and the mother.
See, if you're a non-vegetarian, you have a lot of choices when it comes to milk. Means what? I'm mainly targeting the protein and calcium and phosphorus and vitamins there. So you have more variety. You will have fish, like I told you the names of fishes and many other fishes, and you have dal, everything totally, it will give you a good replacement. If you are a vegetarian, तो उसमें क्या हो जाएगा? Milk becomes a very good, it's called biological value of milk is very good. Means a protein, whatever you drink, milk, the entire milk ka protein gets absorbed. That is one food and egg is another food. But when it comes to any other food, जिसमें protein है, it doesn't get absorbed. अगर मैंने 10 protein गोले खाए तो 10 absorb हो जाएंगे. लेकिन बाकी किसी का भी मैंने 10 protein गोले खाए तो शायद 7 absorb हो जाएंगे, 6 absorb हो जाएंगे.
Okay.
You're getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes, yes.
Milk was stressed so much, and during the growing years, especially for the child, it's very essential. Now, I didn't drink milk plain, but I drank it in various
other forms.
People have this masking kiya na, wo flavor ka. Then why Horlicks is doing well? Because you mask that flavor of milk, children can drink it easier.
Drink it.
You also, one suggestion, if suppose they do not want to, it's better not to use Bournvita and all this because they have extreme, like if you consider this much dabba, this much is sugar. Okay, it's that bad. So you don't take those drinks other than if somebody has, like a professional has recommended certain drinks to you. These are over the counter. So those ones. And if you want, you can put jaifar or you can put cinnamon powder or what is that? Elaichi. Those things to change the flavor of milk.
Even vanilla, for a few drops of vanilla could be.
Yeah, if it's again outside processed this thing. If you can, manje, you can take it and it's good.
Okay. Another thing about flex seeds. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah.
No, these natural things are good. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
It will not cause any harm.
Yeah. You mentioned about flex seeds, and imagine if a child is not ready to chew and eat the fried flex seeds.
Yes.
Can it, like, I believe they say that flex seeds dipped in water is called flex egg or something like that. You know, if you flex seeds ko powder karke pani mein dip, this is what I've heard is a compensatory for egg. Could that be a good? I'm asking you because I'm not aware.
See, flaxseed, though it has omega-3, which is very good for our body. Flaxseed is very high in fat. Okay, so you can't really take too much amount of flaxseed, and it is not so palatable for a small child to take it ऐसे ही. So that's why I said either usko once you roast it powder करके in some form you put it in your dal, you put it जहाँ sabji.
Yeah, exactly. That is what I wanted. So I could add it into anything.
Yeah. But
okay.
You can't take too much.
You can't eat a spoonful of flex seeds because we could just because it's good for health. I just can't eat one spoonful of flex seeds.
You don't have to eat it raw. You can't eat, you have to roast it very lightly. Okay, and that's when the omega-3 will act on your body.
Okay, and we could add it into our dals or dosa batter or anything that comes to my mind.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Meghna. Thank you.
Is this Pediasure good? Like
yes, Pediasure is good. I have used it on my cancer kids, for years, and it has really shown improvement. But you should know the dose. You should know when it should be given, and whether you require it or not.
Okay,
it is also important. Tell me.
Sorry, go on.
So there it was like the kids were absolutely malnourished and not taking anything. That's when we have used in a different way. But in our kids here, you need to know, in any regular kid, any of the kids, you need to know kitna kha raha hai, kya kha raha hai, zarurat hai ki nahi. If you need, then you supplement.
It doesn't have sugar, right? Pediasure.
Yes, but what I mean to say is how much to take. No, don't take too much of it with milk and all. It can cause diarrhea. So know all those things.
Do you have any take on a microwave usage, Meghna?
Honestly, they say that microwave results are saying कि कुछ नहीं होता है. You can so what I would advise is, honestly, that's a very personal opinion.
Yeah.
If you want to heat, cooker में गरम करो और gas पे गरम करो. Honestly, we destroy everything by heating. Second time when we heat,
right.
We talk about so much of vitamin and so much everything, and we boil our milk 20 times and we destroy everything. Reheating itself is not a very good idea. You remove the food, keep it outside, सुबह निकालो रखो, if it कल का बचा हुआ है, and let it come to room temperature. That's the best way to eat. Microwaving also, the radiations are kind of there. I don't know. I just, if you heat, don't cook. Yeah, I would say don't cook. Heat it. Thoda temperature kam aane do. It's really piping hot when it is like heated. Then you can have. But on a personal note, I honestly feel, nahi use kiya to chalega. It's not itna. Everybody else differ an opinion, but this is just my personal opinion.
Okay. And some parents would like to contact you. How do they go about it? Shall we contact Priyanka?
You can give my phone number to them.
Okay. Okay. So then they can get in touch with Priyanka to get your number,
also,
right?
So I have this Instagram account, Simple Health Work, and Facebook. So you can see some recipes, or you can read about the foods there. Okay. There are many foods which I've given.
So, Meghna, I think you could give this the Insta and Facebook thing to Priyanka, so she could email it to them when she will be emailing the other things.
Yeah.
All the part. Yeah.
Anything more, Darshana?
I think it was good and I think very informative, Meghna. Very like I was really the story, the social story was the one which I liked the best, right, Babis?
Yes, of course.
So I think thank you so much. Thank you, Babis. You seem
Yeah,
really bad.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Meghna. Thank you,
Thank you.
Sarika.
Thank you.
Thanks a
thank
lot.
you,
Thanks.
thank you,
Really
Sarika.
informative.
Thanks, Priyanka.
Thanks.
Very.
Thanks. Bye.
Yes.
Bye,
So
Raj.
all,
And
bye.
I think we really look forward to more such talks from Meghna. So
Definitely.
more questions, and more better way of eating and living. Thank you, Meghna.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
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 Bye.